2 weeks ago, this field was dirt. I came out here to rake the field, spread seed, and hope that the monsoon rains alone would help to germinate these seeds. As you can see, it seems to have been effective. This didn't happen in 1 month. This soil that used to just be hard desert soil is now spongy and soft and nutrient dense. So the seeds germinated in only a couple weeks, but this soil took several years to build. The first month that I was out here, I just walked my land, picked up cow manure, and started a small compost. And then I got chickens, and then I got pigs, and then I got horses. And the intention has always been to harvest their manure in addition to my compost to add nutrient density to this soil. It's just simply taken a lot of time. By the way, my next live Q&A is on August 29th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's included with the Frugal off-grid path, so if you pick it up between now and then, I'll leave a link down below so you can join me. Some of these plants are native and some of them I've planted. And one of the most interesting new arrivals is blue grama grass. So a huge amount of this grass that's coming in that's tall is what's called blue grama grass. And it's higher in protein than the native hairy grama. In fact, blue grama does grow out here natively. It just was never on my land. Some of the purslane is native, and some of it I planted. It does well out here. These little orange flowers are native, and there are little native bees that like to feed on that pollen. You can see lots of ragweed. I believe this is ragweed, which is native, and it just grew on itself. It's getting pretty bushy. In fact, if you look out on quote-unquote my pasture, which was also just dirt recently, it's covered in that ragweed. So this entire section, this was just dirt, and I just barely put manure on it the last several months and then planted it. So it can be done quicker. It's just a matter of having that manure and compost piled up and ready to use. In addition to the field, I have a lot coming up around the homestead, and I've planted everything from Bermuda grasses to alfalfa. There's kale, different lettuces, and this is from the bird seed just falling right here where the birds eat. There's a large swell back here down the side of the cabin. There's lots of Bermuda grass, ragweed. This is blue grama grass, lots of blue grama. There's alfalfa. There might even be some clover. Even the goji berries are doing really well. This is the first time that I've been able to harvest berries that were edible and enjoyable to eat. This is a peach tree. Lots of alfalfa and other goji berries coming up around the pond. And again, a lot of Bermuda around the cabin. This stuff is cool because it'll just kind of continue to spread, and I'll probably throw down some more. There's even sorghum coming in over here. And of course there's a massive amount of mint that's in the bog filter. This is a 4,500 gallon pond that pumps water up into the bog filter to help purify the water, and then it rainfalls back down into the pond. And the pond is currently full of thousands of tadpoles. So I threw down seed all over the place originally, and as the Bermuda grows and as the hairy grama grows, they produce seeds that'll fall and blow around just like the arugula always has, and it'll continue to spread around the homestead and continue to fill in the little nooks and crannies and corners. And that's why I started rejuvenating the soil inside the safely fenced homestead area first, because then I can build that soil up, get stuff growing that drops its own seed, that blows around the homestead, and I can continue to push it out on the pasture eventually. Well, in fact, I already have. And the horses do a surprisingly good job of distributing large amounts of manure out there on the pasture as well. So you can see there's kind of a field of grass back here too, and the horses can't get to it. And then they have little areas they enjoy dropping their manure, which will just get to be more and more bountiful with time. And you can see there's actually a lot of that ragweed out in the pasture, and they're not bothering it because they have plenty of hay in the round pen. Here's a section that I've been throwing their manure, and there's a lot of different grasses coming in, even just around the edges of the round pen. Yeah, all the nooks and crannies, you can see how much manure they leave out there under the trees, and then with me filling in the gaps that they're not filling in, we'll just continue to improve the land out here. So we can take a little walk around the pasture and see how hard little ginger snap's been working. This corner here, I harvest the manure out of the pen and I pile it up here, and they also just drop out here too. And you'll notice that they seem to stand under trees and just drop their manure. I think that I threw some of that there too. And you see, that's a lot of manure there. And then there's not as much here, but then there's a lot under the tree. And with time, they'll build up in piles, and I'll just continue to spread it out onto the pasture. See, that's a lot of manure. With the success of the blue grama grass coming up all over the place, I believe that, well, I should get some more here and plant more for fall, but I should probably just get a lot of it and start by throwing it underneath these trees in the manure, where it should take off. It should drop seed, and some of it will be able to take ground, you know, and then as I continue to add and add and add nutrient density to the soil out here on the pasture, one day it really will be a pasture. And, you know, one of the best things is you see that there's swells, berms, demi-lunes, ponds. All these things around the homestead are meant to help slow down the water, hold the water, and so is the nutrient-dense soil. It's designed to soak up the water like a sponge, hold it here, put it to use. The ground cover puts down roots, adds more nutrient density into the soil, breaks it up, softens it. And before you know it, you just have an entirely functioning ecosystem that really wasn't there before. It was just desert that was drying up and dying, and now we're breathing a little bit of life back into it. I've been out here for 6 years and I've never seen anything take over the pasture like this. And that's because, well, the horses wiped it out initially. And the intention is to improve it now. It's definitely not a bad thing to wipe the land to bare bones and then just grow the crop that you want to grow. But you can see the difference in the nutrient density of the soil just inside the fence here. So 6 years ago, this was just barren, dried out desert land. 2 weeks ago, this was just dirt in a field, although it was, what would you say? It was nutrient dense, even though it might not look it, I guess. So only a few weeks later, we've damn near got a field here, and it's only going to get better. A lot of this stuff is going to continue to drop seed, continue to grow more grass, continue to make the land better. If you liked this video, you might be blown away with all the things that I've added to the water pillar page on my website. I'll put a link down below, or just go to frugaloffgrid.com.